Reverend Father George and the other parish priests, all governors here present, members of parliament, senators, members of the county assembly, the larger family of Lenayapa, the big delegation from Laisami's constituency and Marsabit County. God is good, and all the time. Nisalimieni kwa haya. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Bwana Yesu asifiwe tena. I come here twofold. One, on behalf of President William Ruto and the government of the Republic of Kenya, to say goodbye to a distinguished public servant who has served this country with distinction and commitment. And the President has the government of the Republic of Kenya to the family, and after his message of condolence and later presented to the family. I also come here in my private capacity to say goodbye to a family friend, a great man, a humble man, a very generous human being, a man with a big heart, a man who loves his family, who loves his community, who loves his country, and a very genuine friend. The late Lawrence Lenayapa and I, and Governor Lusaka and others were here, Loitumaga and others. We met in the late 90s in course number 2 of 1990 at the Administration Police Training College, APTC, being young officers who had to undergo paramilitary course so that we are able to manage security and supervise the administration police officers under us. And during that 3-month course, we developed a good relationship that has gone on for 34 years. And we became brothers, we became good friends, we became confidants. And for those 34 years, Lawrence has been a genuine friend to many of us. And we really cherish the moments we have shared with him. Mama Esther here and these 2 young girls, I have seen them grow. Lenayapa has eaten food in my house. I've eaten food here in Nyanyuki. It is Nairobi house. We've been together our lives. And I want to say what has been said here, I bear witness. He was a very kind man, extremely kind. Many a times I went to his Nairobi house. It was full of the Rendile people. Throughout, you could not even get anywhere to sit. Wamejaa rumu zote, wengine wamelala kwa viti, wengine wamelala kwa mkeka. And food was flowing throughout. Nyama, soup, and that was his life. When I came here to Nyanyuki, the same story. If there is a man in my life that I know who loved his community, it's Lawrence Lenayapa, the man lying here. And Mama Joanne, I also want to thank you. I don't think it is easy for our ordinary wives to be able to host the Rendiles the way you did. You are a woman of a kind. You are a woman of a kind. Until I reached, I asked Lenayapa, hii Rendile kwani ni nini? It's too much. They are everywhere. And he told me, my life starts and ends with my people. And this position I've been given I hold it for the community. So whatever I have, I'll share with them. And that is the life he led. Many times, Jane Kagiri, Lenayapa was a soft-spoken man, but very firm. Although we were age mates, since I had retired and left government, I was a businessman, and we were tight with him to have some money in the car. That was Lawrence Lenayapa, a very kind man. And I wish and I pray that my people, the Kikuyu people, we can love our people the way Lawrence Lenayapa loved these people. Sababu watu wetu saa ingine wanakata wengine miguu sana. Wakiona mtu napanda, wanataka kumleta nini? Chini. Lenayapa taught me to love my people. He taught me. And I must say he's the one who taught me. I don't think I was that keen, but I learned from him. I want to say, as comptroller of State House, the way it has been said here, it is true. Lenayapa demystified the State House. And I'm very glad that Katole Betito, our comptroller now, has followed suit. Na Katole ukanyangia hapo. Fungulia watu mlango. Fungulia watu mlango. Waone rais wao waongee na yeye. And he did not have discrimination. Anybody who wanted to see President Uhuru Kenyatta, he said, come. And if there was an opportunity, he'll make it possible and not fuss about it. Like it's a very big thing. And he spent many times in my house in Sagana. The Sagana State Lodge is next to my home. And anytime President Uhuru came down and he came with Lenayapa, he would come to spend with me at the house. We'd meet, we talk, we discuss. And the whole conversation after talking about our journey in leadership, finally, it will end with Redire. And his two daughters, these two daughters. These two daughters, he talked about them even before I met them. By the time I met them, I knew everything about these two girls, Joanna and Paola. Your father loved you so much, and I trust you'll work very hard to keep his name high. I want to thank the siblings of my late friend, the leadership and the community from Marsabit. When I called Mama Joanne and I asked her what are the plans, I thought the funeral would be in Loyangalani. So I needed to know so that I start thinking the logistics, how do we get there, what do we do? She told me, it is my wish, if the elders and the siblings will agree, to bury Lenayapa in Nanyuki to be near us because Lagayani is too far. And I did advise her to talk to them softly and request them. And when Paula came to see me, she told me the same. And later on, Mama Joanne told me that the siblings, the elders, and the community had agreed to allow the family to bury Lenayapa in Nanyuki. I want to say thank you very much for honoring this woman and her children. Because ordinarily, many people would have said no. You people of Marsabit are good people. And the way you have come here, we want to thank you. At least you have honored what the family wanted, to let their husband and father be near them. I want to say I came to Laisamis, somewhere I think called Koru, somewhere Kol or something. He called me there to build a church. But I never came to Loyangalani. We planned many times to come to Loyangalani. One thing would happen, another one, I never came. And the Reverend Father here, from Loyangalani has told me when we were greeting each other that the late Lawrence had started a church there and we should come and complete it. And I want to say, since Lawrence wanted me to come to Loyangalani and he has gone before I come, I'll mobilize friends of Lawrence will come to Loyangalani and finish that church that started. I have just told Governor Lenku, and I want to say the daughters of Lenayapa and Mama Joanne, my home is your home, and you know. These are my daughters. If there is anything I can do for you, my gates, my doors, in my Nairobi home, in my rural home are open for you. You know my story and history with this great man. Please always come. Even if you have nothing, come and say hi to me, because our friendship with your father is very deep. And Lenayapa was not a businessman and he was not a politician. Many times when he did development, akina Lekuton sometimes would get a bit uncomfortable. Anakuja anajenga hapo, anasaidia. Normally siasa sisi ukisikia mtu anakuja kwako unakuwa uncomfortable kidogo. But he was not interested in politics. Alikuwa anasaidia watu nyumbani from his heart. He was also not a businessman. So mimi ndio nilikuwa mfanyabiashara na mwanasiasa. So alinishika mkono kwa biashara. Huyu ndugu yangu amelala hapa. And whatever little that I own, huyu ndugu yangu huyu amechangia kiasi kikubwa sana. Ken Lusaka nusu. Hata ya Lusaka umechangia, lakini bado kiwango ya huyu. He introduced me to many people. I was telling Governor Lenku, when you are Minister for Security, Lenayapa alileta kwako physically. Akakwambia huyu mtu ni mtu mzuri na ni muungwana. Patia ya kazi, auze bunduki hapa na viatu na nini, apata kitu ya kukula na akuwa akisaidia waredile. Lakini kabla unisaidie ukafukuzwa. Sasa since huyu alikwambia unisaidie, you must help me. Now that he's not there, you know. Si alileta kwako, akakwambia unichunge. Sasa now that he is gone, you must honor him by helping me. Lazima unisaidie pahali. So sisi tunataka kusema we have lost a great man. And you know, Lenayapa would look at President Uhuru Kenyatta some time as a good controller would do, find he is not in the best of moods, and then decide he needs to look for people who are close to him, who can come and have comic relief, laugh with him, ndio akae mzuri. So you look for me. He used to call me Geoffrey. Geoffrey, where are you? Kuja wewe uketi na hii mtu yako, naona ako juu kidogo ateremuke. I'll come and sit with President Uhuru Kenyatta, tunapiga story, nini. After 1-2 hours, Lenayapa niambia sasa wacha mimi nimuitie ile watu ya maneno ngumu. So he was a very resourceful man. And even when President Uhuru appointed him as State House Controller, nikamwambia Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, wewe umepata mfanyikazi. Because watu wanasemanga mtu amepata kazi na kazi imepata mtu. Nikamwambia kazi yako imepata mtu. And for sure he did not disappoint. And he helped to stabilize the presidency. During Uhuru's first term, when the presidency was very intact, this man, as the accounting officer for both President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto, he kept the presidency together. Na tunamshukuru sana. Ndio nimalizie Jane Kagiri. Lawrence aliniambia nikusaidie. lakini hakuwa ameniambia nikusaidie bure, alikuwa ameniambia nikukopeshe utanilipa siku moja. Sasa that the only witness is gone, ukuwe muungwana. Ukipata kitu unirudishie ile nilikupatia ufanye siasa yako. I was called Geoffrey, and it's good that I explain. Lusaka still calls me Geoffrey. Lawrence has died, akinita Geoffrey. I was Rigathi Gachagua. I was an administrator. Mtu ya kutoa amri, mtu ya kusukuma, mtu ya kukanyanga. So when I decided now to go to the other side ya kutetea watu, nikaona niwachane na hiyo jina, because hawezi pelekana na ile kazi mpya ya kutetea watu. So nikafanya transition from Geoffrey Gachagua to Rigathi Gachagua. But Lawrence, hata kama nilibadilisha, he has called me Geoffrey. So finally, I think afande Rugut. Sasa unajua hii kazi ni ya kubadilishana. Wewe ulikuwa mkubwa yetu. Sasa mimi ni mkubwa yako. Hii watu yote inakuwa namna hiyo. I think PC, tafadhali, can you put our team together tuketi tukunywe chai? You know, because let us not be meeting in occasions like this one. You know, call Lotumaga, look for all of us coordinators. Mimi naona wewe nao kwa group yetu, you are the senior most, isn't it, Ken? I think Jasper is the senior most. So si atupange atutafute. Please put our team together. That team we work together from wakati ya Moi tumehangaika hapo, uniambie, then utuweke pamoja tujuliane hali. We catch up and revisit the good old days, because they were good days, so that we don't have to meet when we have lost a colleague like we have met today. So Mama Joanne and your two daughters, you have our support, you are in our prayers, and you know how tight we are as families. When Lawrence was posted to Netherlands and he had to live with his wife, my wife, Pastor Dorcas, took over the work of looking after these two daughters. Because they were young girls, they are teenagers, they needed a mother figure around them. She's the one who would go to visit them, find out how they are doing, and come and tell me and tell Lawrence. Even when my wife traveled to Netherlands, when Lawrence was ambassador, and she had booked a hotel to stay, Lawrence could not hear of it. He said, how can your wife, our friend, stay in a hotel when our home? And insisted she must go and live at the residence of the ambassador. So this is a big family that we have come together and will stay together. Father George, I'm so happy to meet you here. Again, you used to serve in Gekubo Parish. We were together, we were good friends. And nimefurahi sana kusikia umekuja hapa. So vile ulikuwa unaniita zamani kukula nyama hapo Gekumbo, I still eat meat. Uniite hapa nikuje ututengenezee nyama. You know these reverend fathers, if you don't know, wanaishi vizuri sana. If there is one thing about the Catholic Church, the reverend fathers pahali wanaketi wanakula vizuri. So mimi, when I was a member of parliament, I made it my business to help them to build good houses on condition that when I'm around that area, ninakula lunch hapo kwa father. Because ile mayai yote inaletwa, ile vitu yote inaletwa hapa mzuri mzuri, inaenda hapo kwa father. And it is good to look after our men and women of God, isn't it? So tumeshukuru sana. Maybe ndio nisome Sara ya Rais. Pastor Dorcas, I think, come and say something. These are your daughters. Come and say something, and then I can read the president's message, then we can be able to proceed. Kuja useme kitu.